but she wanted to just say hello to everybody. So let me see if I can get her on the phone. Hang on one second. Hang on once. Can I have to ask you officially, can you go live to Tupelo? Okay, hang on one second. I haven't told them yet who you are. Please introduce yourself, mystery guest.
Well, they call me Shelvis, but in my spare time, I'm Wynonna Judd.
You don't even have to show up and you get a standing ovation.
Wow, that's awesome!
Why? We were texting each other this week and I told you where I was. And you said, oh my goodness, I made my plans wrong. I should have come to Tupelo. Tell them where you are right now.
Well, I'm in Nashville. I'm doing CMA Fest, and we're here at the Nissan Stadium, and I'm going to go out and sing tonight. Why Not Me, which comes from the 80s. People love the 80s and 90s again. The younger crowd is probably some of them don't know who I am, but I hope, Tom, that at the end of the night they'll go, that Wynonna, she is a force to be reckoned with.
Well, you are speaking to us. We are at Milam Auditorium, where Elvis was in 6th, 7th, and part of 8th grade. And to go back to school, I went to school here. It's just such an amazing experience to think of that little boy that went on to Memphis and changed the world. Tell us how Elvis impacted you, because you are Shelvis.
It wasn't until I was 18, I'll be honest. I grew up hillbilly music, bluegrass, the blues. And then Elvis came into my life because my pop, Larry Strickland, was with the Stamps, and he sang with Elvis. And Elvis's clothes were underneath our bed. And that's kind of weird, but it was the way it was for me. We were so poor on welfare, and I just found his story so amazing. And years later, Tom, I would get to wear his cape and belt to induct him into a Hall of Fame. Yay, me.
Larry has so many great stories about being on stage with Elvis. I'm having a feeling that's probably your big entertainer to be able to go back in history and share a stage with.
You know what? To me, Tom, I don't think he was an entertainer. I think he was an interpreter. And I think he had more soul in his pinky than all of us combined. He just was so raw, and you never knew what he was going to do. I feel the same way about Loretta Lynn. You never know what she's going to say or do. And there's something lovely about that kind of moment where he just all of a sudden would break into a knee shake and people would lose their mind because he was authentic and he was one of a kind. And we are missing that in music today.
And I've seen you in concert a couple of times, and a couple of times that I've seen you, if you look closely on stage, I see a little bust of Elvis on stage with you.
Absolutely, Tom. I'm not stupid.
You have the power of the king with you on stage all the time.
You know what? I sang with the Jordanaires. I bought my mother a car. I mean, come on. There's so many similarities. I mean,
That's right. And you were a part of our Nashville Elvis Festival a couple of weeks ago. Got to go on stage with Dean. You said that was almost a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you hope to repeat many times.
He wears more makeup than I do.
I want to tell the story. I came over to put a scarf on Wynonna, and she whispers under her breath loudly, "Don't touch the hair."
Never. You know what? I hope to be a part of August. I'm not sure what it looks like, but let me say, everybody who knows me knows that I love the artists that I grew up loving. In country music, for instance, opening for Merle Haggard, George Jones, Johnny Cash was a mentor. These are my people. Elvis, I never got to meet him, but I have a strong connection to him. I'm not even sure why, other than the fact that when you hear Don't Be Cruel, I'm 18 or 20, and I'm singing Don't Be Cruel with the Jordanaires. Are you kidding me? That's amazing, right? So I think I'm part of the history, and I love the fact that you're calling me because I want to be a part of Graceland in August or something. So please call me. Call me, Tom.
You got it. And out of the blue, the other day, I get a text from you, and it's just a photo of you and a young lady. Tell everybody who you sent me a photo of that you were with.
Well, I have to tell you this part. I'm in the tabloids as being Elvis's love child.
Oh.
And that's when you know you've made it, because you're in the tabloids, because you're Elvis's love child. I met, of course, I text Priscilla, and she's always been so kind to me. And I feel like we're related. Lisa Marie and I think we look alike if we make a certain face.
Yeah.
So I sent you that picture because when I met her, I felt like I was meeting my sister. And I made a joke. You know me, I'm always trying to be funny. And I said something like, I think we're related. You know, I'm going to take a DNA test because I don't know if my mother's telling the truth or not.
Well, there is a resemblance, and you were rocking the Elvis shades, too.
Well, you know what I love? I love the fact that he tried so hard to be different in a way that was so, for me, it's hillbilly. Like, he wasn't hillbilly, but for me, I would always put a stripe down my hair or do something with a rhinestone that people thought, what is she wearing that on her face for? I think he was the same way. I think he strived to be different and unique, and I love that word, unique.
We heard a story this afternoon about him when he was here in 8th grade, walking around with a guitar, and the other students would go, oh, here comes Elvis with his guitar again, making fun of him, and then they're all trying to get tickets to see him in concert.
Well, I made jokes about the same thing. I'm getting ready to have my 40th, my 40th reunion at high school, and you think I'm not going to walk in there with a silver everything and a gold record and say, oh, guess who's standing now?
You love your capes, Wynonna. You love your capes.
I do. I love the American flag. I love our country. I think we live in the greatest country in the world.
Well, we appreciate this. Thank you so much for being a part of the Tupelo Elvis Festival. And these Elvis fans love you. And we want to see you in August.
Well, I'll be on the road in September doing the Jets tour. I'm moving forward with the Jets music because we need to celebrate more. I think we need to celebrate. Come see me.
You got it. We love you. We love your mom. We love your music. That's why.
Bye, Tom.
Bye, Why. Say bye to Why. We love you, darling. I think I just cut Cactus off. That's her husband.
Oh, no.
So was that cool? So she was talking about that connection. So my business partner, Brian Mays, is her publicist, and they've known each other for years. And she came the last night. Naomi and Larry had come for the night before, and they were hanging out. And I said, well, I want to come and see the guys, because she loves Elvis. And so they arranged for her to come in the side door in the back, and they were sitting over there. And you know me, I'm Charlie Hodge. I'm out on stage all the time during a concert. And I got off stage during intermission, and Brian said, "Why is here?" And I'm like, "What do you mean here? Like here? Like we're here?" He went, "There, here." She was sitting there, all the guys were around her, and she was talking to everybody, taking selfies with everybody. And I didn't want to bother them. I was like, that's sweet. I got stuff to do. I'm gonna go just because I got to write some more. I got to write some more cards. And at one point, Brian came over and said, "Wynonna wants to meet you. She doesn't believe you know Priscilla." I'm like, uh-oh. So I go over and he introduces me to her. And when was the Nashville Elvis Festival? So March 27th is how long I've known Wynonna, and we text all the time now. She said, do you know Priscilla? I said, yes. And she said, well, I'm gonna send a selfie to her, and we're gonna make a selfie, and I'm gonna send it to her, and I'm gonna see if she knows you. And she's kidding. And I said, well, okay, why? I'm gonna send one to her also, and we're gonna see if she knows you. So we both took selfies, and I sent it to the number I had. She sent it to the number she had, which happened to be the same number. We felt good about that. And just a little while later, a text came back to both of us. Oh my goodness, two of my best friends finally met each other. And from then on, I was like, okay, I'm in now a little bit. She came out on stage and sang with Dean. She wanted to sing back up. She got back up there in the back and sang a little bit. She loves it. She loves the music. So the next day, I think, well, that was a wonderful experience. And, I'm going to put that on the shelf. That was just really great. The next day, I'm in Nashville because I'm going to arrest that and go to hell in Georgia, for Jeff's festival. I'm in an antique store, and hand on the Bible, I sent this to her the minute. I'm in an antique store, and I find a 45 single. And I'm looking through singles, and I see an RCA label. And I'm like, oh, RCA, because you never know. And it was Don't Be Cruel by the Judds. And I'm like, oh, wow, the Judds did Don't Be Cruel. It was one of their first singles. My phone buzzed while I'm looking at this, and it was Wynonna going, last night was incredible, let's do it again. And I took a picture of my hand holding that within a second and sent it back, and I said, I'm holding this when I got that text. And Wynonna sent back, she says, we are connected. So she lives in this mystical world of things working out like that, and what happened a few weeks later after that just, I know, crushed her world. But she's going on, and she sings, and that's what she does. So she wanted to be a part of Tupelo, so we're going to work on getting her to Memphis.